Dear friends, again, we would like to welcome you and to congratulate you with the opening of the new international online class dedicated to Elena Petrovna Blavatsky and studying of the Secret Doctrine. So today is the beginning of the new season, and of course, we are waiting first of all for an impetus, for an impulse for the systemic studying of the Secret Doctrine. And today, again, we would like to affirm that the system of the study, first of all, provides us with an impetus, a motivation for such an important moment as the discipline of thought. Also, the systemic approach of Helena Petrovna Blavatsky works, first of all, the Secret Doctrine, also reveals by the independent thinking. As soon as we can think independently and put different notions together, we can create, then we understand that we are following the same rhythm. The same rhythm is very important to understand its logical and continuous movement. Any movement, any motion that we accepted and it became so natural for us as a sunrise, then we are in this continuity. And when we are in the continuity, we can affirm that we are in the cause. All the knowledge of the Secret Doctrine is the revealing of the cause and consequence. Why? In order to reach this flow. The third stanza that we're going to study exactly puts together the body of the cause. And this opportunity is amazing for anybody who touches this knowledge, for anybody who studies things using systemic approach to find the reason, the cause. And as soon as we find this egregor, the cause of the consciousness, we can say that we understood the consequence till the end. And by this, we can affirm a wonderful independent thought, which is first of all important to give us the movement, the impetus for the motion, and for the forming of the thought. Kala chakra, which defines the motion of the consciousness, defines also the knowledge of cycles. Cycles are extremely important because this rhythm consists of them. And today we are in wonderful nidanas, and of course, we would like to understand, to feel this direction that our thought is going to follow today. And we hope that today, the start of Secret Doctrine, third stanza of the fourth sloka of the Dhyan stanzas, will give us this direction of the thought that we need, exactly in this moment of the present. We would like to thank all our participants, our foreign partners, the Russian Federation regions, different cities, and we are happy that you have this desire to study and to adopt the systemic approach to the study of the Secret Doctrine. Today we work with translators Polina Romancheva and Olga Tomchuk. Thank you very much for your assistance, for your help, and for your trying to convey the meaning and insights that are going to be with us during all the seminar. And of course, today we are waiting for your questions, for your comments, or questions that you may have during the seminar. You may share them in our Q&A section of the Zoom program. We are longing to read your questions and we'll be happy to answer them, and maybe it will let us to uh, create this body of the cause that will reflect a wonderful shape of thought. And now the floor is given to psychologist and the head of the Moscow School of Philosophy, Vladimir Vasilyevich Yari. Hello, dear friend. Again, I would like to congratulate you with the beginning of the new school year. And let us have a look what thought Elena Petrovna provides us with for today. Mock not the deformed, assume not a proud demeanor with the inferiors. Hurt not the feelings of the poor, be kind to those weaker than thyself, and charitable to all beings. Of course, this thought is exoterical by its nature, but its depths is enormous. If, of course, applied to our everyday life, then we will educate our heart and we will be successful. This thought of the day may lead us as a directive thread through all today's jhanas, the nidanas that are not only important for today, but also in nidanas of the month, day, week, year, era, the day itself, and of course, the hour that we are in. I would like to bring you to the following consideration that the causal body, the body of the cause, is connected with the consciousness. As soon as the consciousness acquired a shape, the illusion absorbed it. It happened immediately. The Maya covered us all. This human consciousness. And what is a human being in its essence? The human being is within the Maya. That is why the earthly incarnation, whoever we are, whatever high spirit we are, but if we incarnated earth, it means we get karma of the country, the family, and the karma of the planet Earth, the planet where the human beings emanated. And of course, the human being gets in this illusional world, and in order to get out of this illusional world, this consciousness of a dense world, the very dense consciousness that we have, and this consciousness operates with such categories as shape, colors, shades, appearance, and all those expressions of emotions which are connected to this or that form. These are the notions of our material consciousness. And of course, in this state, consciousness cannot see clearly the reality. That's why it is in Maya state, as its body, Maya Rupa. And this state of the consciousness that we have. And from this state of consciousness, connected to Maya and through Maya, it interprets everything. It creates its world outlook through Maya. Then Nidanas that were created by Tian Kogans and Devas are the Nidanas created by our human ignorance. And all these together is the consequence which is reflected in eternity, and it becomes eternal, and consequences of our actions are eternal. We create things by our causal body. You see what I am leading you to. First of all, towards understanding that nidanas only appeared when consciousness appeared. And the combination of the nidanas, which are essence of connection of the cause and consequence, we may talk about heavenly consciousness and earthly consciousness of the man. That's why this duality should be synthesized by us. It should become clear. The era that is defined by Nidana of the blue monkey is the symbol of Aquarius era. And it is in the constellation of Sagittarius. This constellation tells us about the astral body. The astral body should be, first of all, transformed by us. When can we transform it? When we transmute centers. Means when we accept the world above the earth, which is our guidance. The human being suffers. Through suffering, he created his astral body. Yet the transmutation of the fiery nature, the feelings should be fiery, should be high. They get high through the inspiration. And the inspiration leads us towards acceptance of the world above the earthly world, towards the higher thoughts. Follow the free way. This state of the feeling of beauty that we acquire is fire and this transmutation of the centers of the astral body, because we are talking about creation and acceptance of fire in this era. And by this fire, the transmutation of centers is made. This fire is called the space fire. The space fire, which brings in itself the primordial psychic energy. This primordial psychic energy has a property of Akasha nature in its essence. Energetic essence.
So the energy that helps transmutation take place, the transmutation of those fires that are innate in us, and we need to wake them up, awaken, because all our centers are sleeping, and the centers are the cosmic man. So it's a microcosm that exists in the human. So there is a macrocosmos and a microcosmos in you, in the man. So the dual nature of man, the macro and the microcosmos. Because Jan Kogana are the microcosm, that's nature of human. His individual nature, his upper nature, his ego, that he has to understand. So by being changed by the fire, you awaken your centers, your consciousness, and then it makes you be able to understand these thin energies. And then you're being transmuted, your body is transmutating your astral body. That is, and then we we're able to connect the two worlds, the upper world and the material world, the earth that we're living in. So this is the era of the mother of the world. And the mother of the world, has this Akashi energy, the energy to create new forms of life. And the era of Maitreya, you all know that this is the era of Maitreya, and this era is being, ruled by Shambhala, which is the Maitreya. So imagine that by this time you have Agni Yoga that we can use, this fire to change ourselves culturally, because when the centers of the human are weakened, then the human is able to analyze and think synthetically. So this is one of the reasons that you can understand that one becomes Agni Yogi. And when you reveal your potential to become the celestial man, so the humanity, honestly, all the centers in the humanity, people are dormant because the upper fire, the celestial fire, it comes to you through the power, through the energy you attain. And this power, this energy is called, Bodhicitta in Sanskrit. So this, the power of compassion. And this is the pure fire, because there is no greed in compassion, there is no ego. And it takes one's ability to be compassionate, to be sympathetic. So the ear of Aquarius symbolizes as the monkey, the Nidana monkey, blue monkey, as the essence symbolizes the beauty of thought. The monkey is the beauty. And the beauty of our thought can help us to transmutate our centers and, reveal the fire potential of our astral body. So the higher astral body we can accept it into our astral world, which is the heart. And then bring all of this on the plane, on the astral plane. This is the triad nature of the astral light. And the septenary is in each of our centers or principles. The era of the white dragon tells us about the synthesis, because it's in the ray of Saturn, the green energy symbolizes the synthetic, potential, or the formed thought. And this formed thought is the existence. So it's the universe, the material universe that has in itself the unmanifested power of inexistence, which is the wisdom of existence. So this is the dragon, and of course, now we have the great white dragon is followed by the freedom. He will bring us the freedom and the clairvoyance and the ability to understand the essence of our heart and nature. And our heart then will follow and resonate with the nature of things, with the great wisdom of the existence. The year is of the black hair, and the black hair symbolizes, first of all, as the Nidana, knowledge. The black color symbolizes water, and the power, the essence of water is Akasha. All of these Akashic powers make it possible and help life itself to manifest itself in water. So what is this life for us, for people? Well, this is the ability to understand the world around us. When your consciousness is awakened, then you are able to understand the world better. You're able to conceive the thinner world, the astral world, the higher worlds, the thin vibrations that make our existence happen. So the world of reasoning. Then you become able to look behind the curtain, and then you are able to, make things happen in your reality. And when we talk about the eternity, this great eternal thought. So the month is of the white monkey. And of course, white color, as we have already talked about, it is the Zephyrus, and the monkey symbolizes beauty. And beauty, if we, combine it with the Zephyrus, the ether, this the manifested beauty. So the whole month we can, with our inner eye, we can look at this beauty and perceive the beauty of the existence of the world, and we can awaken the sense of beauty within ourselves once again. So this is the month that we are currently living in, and you need to feel this month with all the fibers of your being. So the week is of the blue goat. The 6 days we are currently living, and this week is the blue goat that symbolizes goat as a nidana, love, and the blue color stands for the thought. So we can say that the power of Kriya Shakti is within this blue goat, the nidana of the blue goat. And this power of Kriya Shakti is the power of human. So if your heart is open, if you have love within your heart, then your awakened mind will be able to operate on the plane of clear thoughts with your chaperone, with your consciousness being as your chaperone, and your personality that can, manifest as pure thoughts, the poesy, literature, paintings. So the human creativity, the human genius. So this is the week of geniuses, and with the power of Kriya Shakti creates the images and forms, the thoughts and forms that will help humanity to become better. And that's how your consciousness develops. We are the pure thoughts that radiate love and warmth. So the thought of the day, all of these nidanas combines on the wheel of good law. You will see that Helena Petrovna has always seen the reasons of being, and she has given us the thought that we can look at and see for ourselves that all the principles, all the nidanas, and the psychology expressed in them, that they can be proved by our feelings of ourselves and our understanding of the world, of the existence and the eternal life. And we live in the reality, and we are able to create bridges or the silver lines to the heart of cosmos, the hierarchy of light. And then we will be able to become the true disciples. And the day is of the white boar. So, as you can see, this is the ideal image. The core symbolizes the consciousness, and the white color stands for ether. So this is a condensation of the consciousness. So what is in this condensation? And here we find everything that our consciousness contains. Everything is here and has the ability to expand its genius. So let's try to take an awakened mind that is called the summa summarum of everything. So imagine the state of the consciousness, the state of unity in your consciousness that can reflect the essence of being in all kinds of forms. Because first of all, the white color stands for the condensation of ether. And when the ether is condensed, it reveals itself in multiple forms, in different ideas, in all the kinds of consciousness and ideas. So this is the day we're living in right now. So I've just shown you the cause and effect of nidanas. You have seen them for yourself. So if you see this, if you have followed my idea, you should see this image and you have manifested and projected this image on yourself. And now you were able to touch this higher world, those thin energies, this spatial fire, voluntarily or involuntary, consciously or unconsciously. This is the process that you can feel with your heart. And only your heart is able to feel things like that, because heart gives you the eyes to feel the world around you, to see it for what it is. And this is the existence. It is inconceivable with your proper eyes, but your heart is able to feel it and show it to you. So this is the truth. And the thought is entirely reflected in this combination of nidanas. Mock not the deform means that first of all you should be reverent to people, and you should respect them as you respect yourself. And then you will not have to mock anybody. You won't feel higher than anybody else. You won't insult people around you. So there will be no insults. Be compassionate and kind to those who are weaker than yourself. And when being charitable to all beings, we come back to heart once again. You need to be charitable to all beings. So you need to have compassion. So this fire, which is the bodhicitta. So all of you should follow this great idea of the day. This is the combination of nidana that we have just discussed. The reasons of the being, or the cause and effect between in the wheel of movement of our consciousness, in reference to the cycles of time. So time can become your agent, and you don't need to run like a dog who has been running all day long. There is no point in doing that, because you have everything that you need in the time when you need it, when the time is right. So you just need to be able to feel the right moment. You need to organize your mind, to teach your heart, and discipline your will. And in this aspect,
Then in this aspect, we will manifest all the possibilities and all our skills, all our talents that were given to us in every second. That is why this time can be called a great Kali, great magic, a plunge in our consciousness in the great Maya. That is why we should be eager, we should be happy that we have microcosm and microcosm inside us. This is the central point of the human being. Congratulations. And the third stanza for Sloka that we are going to start today, and then I will give the floor to Evgenia Mikhailovna. But now I will just remind you my own impressions of the study of the third stanza for Sloka, The Secret Doctrine by Elena Petrovna Blavatsky. You know, when I pronounce The Secret Doctrine by Elena Petrovna Blavatsky, it resonates in my heart, and I wish it resonated in all your hearts. Then the three fall into the four. The radiant essence becomes seven inside, seven outside. The luminous egg, which in itself three, curdles and spreads in milk-white curd throughout the depths of Mother, the root that grows in the depths of the ocean of life. For me, this point of a great mystery, because the third stanza is the plane of spirit, where the power of mind is concentrated. And this concentration of the power of mind already attracts the great Maya. And what is the meaning of it? The meaning is that when on the plane of archetypes, the Maya will concentrate in great illusion. This illusion, which will be radiated by Parabrahman in these veils of Prakriti, the sun of this space, the ray of light, which name is Fohat. It will magnetize everything according to this great illusion, the great Maya, by its sevenfold consciousness, the centers of the great macrocosm, which will be reflected in the human being. But the most important, there will be Father, Mother, the moon, and the sun. And on the wheel of time, we will see, and we see, of course, space, the presence of the moon, and the sun. This is the space that gives life to everything, the mother. And the father is the idea which moves and rotates in the wheel of the good law in this time. Well, uh, I wish you a happy hour and happy road. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much, dear friends. It has been a while since we heard the speech that follows the pace and the rhythm of consciousness. I've just got an idea. I will verbalize it now. Pythagoras built his system of the metric speech. This is the action. What does it mean? This is the law of the rhythm. Now, when we were talking about this concentration of mind and consciousness, which gives us power, the opportunity of today, and the nidanas that we are living through these days, this is the metric speech. What is particular about it? The metric thought is heard very easily, and it follows the same diapason of the sound without going outside this diapason, and it is very precise because this is a number, the motion of the number, which means that those who have this gift of the metric speech, this person expresses the law of the movement of the number, and it is always precise. This precision, this main thought that we are always trying to grasp in the Secret Doctrine. Out of abstraction, we should bring that exact image that would give us the understanding. This is where our research work is. This is where our search is, our search of the metric speech, metric thought. Pythagoras built this system, and Elena Petrovna provided us with the steps, what to do. And the teaching of the living ethics is the practice of life. Now we can say it, we can affirm it. This ethics affirms the beauty of the metric thought. It reveals its beauty. It shows the way and opportunities. We've got an idea that today's stanza, the third stanza of the fourth sloka of Dhyan, reveals that formula of the law of the motion of the rhythm defined metric speech. And today I'll try to unveil those covers which were on this rhythmic thought. We'll try to dissipate them. How? Through the precision, through penetration, through understanding of the key points of the thought that will form our own understanding. So, the third stanza, fourth sloka, genius form of the future cause of the metric speech through which the cosmos, the nature, and the human being move. And this is the divine gift. So, today we will study the following stanza. We will try to analyze everything through a system. Then the three fall into the four. The radiant essence becomes seven inside, seven outside, the luminous egg, which in itself is three, curdles and spreads in milk-white curds throughout the depths of mother, the root that grows in the depths of the ocean of life. As it is known, the stanzas are an ancient knowledge, source of symbolism, which is read by inner vision, first of all. The numbers in the Secret Doctrine are also symbolic. You can see that the sloka starts, the three fall into the four. So it brings us to the number world. So geometrically is the higher striate or triangle, the inner basis or the core of the spirit, which is eternal. And this is the inner hidden prism for everything. The three fall into the four. In our case, what happens? Or the triangle falls into a quaternary. This is the geometry. The first key point. Only when the three become four, their form, the shape reveals. This is the formula which Elena Petrovna provides us with through the whole Secret Doctrine. Yet this stanza concentrates its power to understand it. So what is four or quaternary? This is the gown of a formal inner state. The three fall into the four. They're not falling, not falling out, not falling backwards. They're falling into. And in this falling into, there is a wonderful, unique singularity. And this magic thought metric speech, there is a higher meaning, the veneration, the trust, the belief, the faith, and devotion. In the Russian language, these following words will start with the letter U, which corresponds to the fallen into. These stages are defined, first of all, by a teacher or his guide, his party, discipline. Urusvati, the first morning star that brights the way. Then, at the feet of the teacher, veneration, the trust. You brought yourself to your teacher's feet and you venerate the teacher. Then you venerate the hierarchy, upati or guide. Do you understand the connection between the teacher and the disciple and upati or the guide or reflection or upasika or attendant? A supernatural voice that reveals the secrets of the future. And today, in this metric speech that was given to us by Vladimir Vasilyevich in the first part, we will try to work out and work through the formation of this voice, of this supernatural voice, which reveals us the secret of the future. The first key point that formed this thought, the three fall into the four. That is, the three accompany or become the highest vehicles or guides of their own form, and the radiant nature becomes sevenfold or septenary. So, what does radiant nature mean? This is an entity that is able not only to emit a ray, but also to carry its essence in all subsequent manifestations, differentiations, correlations, and transformation. The nature of essence is reflected and symbolized by the number 3. It becomes sevenfold when it becomes radiation. Do you feel the difference? The exact, precise metric speech in all the comments to the Secret Doctrine that Elena Petrovna, by her highest inner nature, inner essence, her spiritual essence, she provided us with this. When the essence is filled with its luminosity, it needs a shape in order to carry this light further. And this is the falling of 3 into the 4. As soon as it happens, we acquire the opportunity to see 7 inside and 7 outside. The key point, as soon as the radiant nature becomes sevenfold, the internal and external state of space is measured consequently to become equal to 7 equals 7. 7 within and 7 without. Now we can see the cause, the shape of the builders. The future is the tool that will be used to future construction. They built by the equilibrium, the balance. And it's a very important idea that we got the revelation of the insight of after we prepared the presentation. This total reflection, this is the formula that the builders was used to build, to create the whole stanza. It puts together this idea, and the form itself should be created and should be acceptable in order for the builders to do it. And all the perturbation that we see through all 12 slokas shows the transformation of this form or formula that they will use in order to build. And today we will reveal and see this magical and wonderful number 12. So 7 inside and 7 outside. The shining egg, threefold in itself, the shining egg in itself is three-form. It is also called Hiranyagarbha, the womb, the golden egg, the radiant fiery mist, the ethereal substance from which the universe was formed. Yet what is this ethereal substance? The answer is easy. This is the sparks of the mind. Hiranyagarbha is the golden germ that floats in cosmic waters and gives birth to life. Hiranyagarbha, as the golden womb or the golden egg, contains Brahma. What is Brahma? Brahma is the collective symbol of the seven universal forces, the auric egg that contains both the divine and the physical human and is directly related to him in its essence. As it is said, it is eternal in its perpetual correlations. What does it mean? The metrical pace is eternal because it leads towards infinity. As soon as we acquire the metric pace, metric speech, it means a human being accepted, cognized or accepted this infinity, and then he can continue. And this essence, as it is said, it is eternal in its perpetual correlation. It is something like a perpetuum mobile, which during the progressive reincarnations, its self, its ego, has this round, this loop of perpetuum mobile. Hence, Hiranyagarbha is an invisible magnetic sphere which surrounds every person. It is an emanation from the atomic ray in its three aspects. Let us have a look at these three aspects.
So let's look at the aspects of the atomic ray. First is the creator. The first is the creator, the aspect of the atomic ray. So it's the aspect that creates new combinations in space on the way of his movement. So on this plane of existence, we have all the great people use the ideas, because here we find new combinations in space. The second aspect is the guardian. The guardian guards the core or saves the core or its origin. So the ray always starts from a point, and it guides the triad, because we know that the point is the first triad, the higher concentration of the causality, the causal body. So this is the power that is used to create the metric forms. So those are the guardians. The third aspect is the destroyer, the regenerator. This is a unique plane of existence, because here we see, this cross, like an X, a combination of two rays, one of which is the destroyer and the other is the regenerator, because something that can be destroyed is regenerated, revived in a new combination. So we destroy the old combinations, static combinations in space, and then give it an impulse to regenerate and to create new combinations in the future. So this is a physical plane where we have the causality being born. Here is where new combinations are being born. And here we have all forms of celestial beings that inhabit the universe. Here they all want to be on this plane, because otherwise they won't be able to evolve, and all the other planes of existence won't be able to do so. So the key point here is that the radiant nature, we know that it's an ethereal substance, a spark of the mind. It is accumulating to manifest the first trait from the atom. And the atom is the Atman, or the lower Prakriti. The great idea of change that we see in the plane of three images that we have already talked about, the seventh of Malaprakriti. Atman is the lower Prakriti. It is found here. It is the atom. And the atomic ray is the sevenfold and one. It encloses seven within and seven without. So as you can see, so 3 falls into 4, or the triangle falls into the quaternary, or the spirit falls into the depths of the mother, which is the root that grows in the bowels of the ocean of life. So 7 within, 7 without. The ethereal substance. So ether fills the entire universe, and the vibrations of the ethereal substance in the universe. The physicists explain the phenomena of light, heat, and electricity with the vibrations of the ethereal substance. So as soon as the free fall falls into 4 and the radiant substance becomes dimmer, then we have the fluctuations in space. So we see light, heat, and electricity appear, and the ether begins to move. These fluctuations take place, and these fluctuations are a radiant fire mist. So the radiant fire haze or mist forms a golden egg. The radiant fire haze that has formed the golden egg is the 14 jewels. The 14 jewels of the golden egg, 7 within, 7 without. 7 plus 7 is 14. So this 7 within and 7 without is in the egg, and they're concentrated in the egg, and we can look at these jewels. What is 40 in the sum? 5, 5 is a symbol of manas, the mind preserved in the golden egg. 7 within is the solar energy or the solar logos. 7 without is what we will use to build the reflection of the sun, the lunar outside. And the mind shape is the 7-ray star. The next key point that we're going to use is that the ether spreads out in a radiant fiery mist and preserves the sevenfold radiant substance, both outside and inside. And this connection turns into a golden egg, inside which the mind is preserved. So here we were able to use the metric speech and look at it in symbols. So the mind preserved in the egg is an occult goal. Helena Petrovna has said that this is an occult goal. But what is an occult goal? So this is the aim of our initiation. So the preserved mind is available at the 4th initiation. So the mind at the 4th initiation forms a form that can manifest in the 4 or in the form of the 4th initiation. What is the 4th initiation? It is the crucifixion, the symbol of the cross. When does this happen? When the student renounces on all 3 planes, and therefore he is crucified on each of them. This means the end of life from the perspective of the cosmos, of the personal life of the soul, in the multitude of his incarnations. What does he renounce on the 3 planes? On the physical plane, the transitory form, he purifies it to the extent that it turns into an understanding of eternity, so into the knowledge of the cause. And then all the effects of forms become clear. On the astral plane, he denounces the lower feelings which dissolve in the light of the higher or without personal joy. Here's when you have the personal joy, the light, that shines as the dragon of wisdom. On the third mental plan, here he renounces thought, impure thoughts. So his thoughts become pure, and as the effects of forms are exposed, and they become known by the cause, and subdued or dissolved in the higher light. And all of these ideas become known and become dissolved. So as soon as the known causes are subdued and dissolved in the higher light, they become known. So the key point, the mind or the mirror of your own higher self acquires a worthy form, and the intelligent, conscious nature manifests itself. And this is another proof to the idea that we have seen at the beginning of our class. When the main conceptual thought of the third stanza is that is the formation of the instrument of the builder, the worthy form that the builders will use to create and to build in the future. And here, in this reflection, this form, this worthy form is being, made. So the fourth plane, the fourth initiation, this is the Nirvana plane. During the fourth initiation, a person consciously makes a choice of his first reincarnation. So what his human consciousness will do here? He can say no and go back and understand if he can, reincarnate, or he can denounce and not reincarnate and stay in the state of nirvana, in the state of joy and bliss. So this choice of incarnation that can be made here, he can choose whether to be born or not, to have a form or not to have a form. So when the person has a choice at this plane, this is when he truly becomes free. So this is the real structure of the free man, when he has a choice and he knows how to do this. So the mental nature at the level of the higher mind or abstract thinking loses control over the initiate and is henceforth used only for service. It is replaced by intuition, the pure reason, the perfect knowledge illuminated by the purpose of the divine mind, filled with love. And the initiate from this time forward lives in the light of true or direct knowledge. And the light of knowledge is the direct knowledge. So direct knowledge is when you have the metric speech, the perpetual movement, the rhythm, and you feel the direct knowledge, which is expressed by wisdom in all matters, the wisdom at present. So the present, when the three worlds of infinite existence constitute a single set of experiences in the life of a soul, experience that ends with the crucifixion, because the soul, the incarnate soul, firmly, consciously, with the help of immortal will, renounces everything and turns away from the material world once and for all. So the teacher has conceived everything that would have gotten from the planes, and now he becomes truly free. He has become one with the material form, and he doesn't need the material world anymore, because it has conceived everything, and he knows how to do the choice that he is presented with. So the key point here that we have three stages of astral light. This is the three worlds of experiment. And Ether is the seventh principle of astral light. As HPB says, has 3 degrees above the radiant matter. On this slide, you can look at how this formula works. So look how it is ideal, how it is clear, and how it is geometrically beautiful. And we can use that as an instrument in our life, no matter what happens in your day-to-day life. Despite it being joy and joystification or a tragedy, the law works in any circumstances. And if you know the law, you will have the power to, go through anything, be it negative or positive, because you will be in the state of equilibrium. So, what does it mean that it is 3 degrees above the radiant matter? What are the 3 degrees and how are they formed? Let's look at the planes of existence. So, there are 3 levels: the plane of archetypes, Akasha, the plane of mind and creativity, where Ether is the densest manifestation of Akasha. So it's the first manifestation. It is not refined yet. And the material and formative plane, where you have astral light. So the key point, the 3 degrees above the radiant matter, mean the 3 fall into the 4. The 4 itself is the radiant matter, as you can see. So how does this happen? The radiant matter on every plane, so the principle 3 and 4 works on every plane. If light is preserved, it is necessarily revealed in the movement of rays into matter and space. On any plane, it becomes the radiant matter. 3 goes into 4, 3 and 4, and this radiant matter is geometrically a room that connects the upper and lower point, and then it becomes the reason of radiant matter of the ray. So this is an eternal correlation of the changing of the ray. So atom is the seventh principle of the molecule. So let's look at how these molecules, these experiments work. Where is the astral light, this manifestation of Akasha, how would we work together and change?
So, atom is the seventh principle of the molecule, seven within and seven without, seven principles on the manifested plane and seven principles on the unmanifested plane, as above, so below. Seven within or inside are four initiated, connect seven inside and seven outside, as they are the bridge of Antahkarana. Seven inside, at the fourth initiation, the construction of Antahkarana is achieved, the bridge connecting the personality, the soul, and the monad. Where is it all? On the plane physical is personality, astral plane is soul, and mental plane is that monad we're talking about. And after the completion of Antahkarana, the causal body or karmic body, which belongs to the immortal component of the human energy system and passes from life to life. That causal body contains information about the causes of all past actions of a person, as well as about his possible future actions. It burns, but it doesn't die. And at this point, the soul merges with the monad. The soul is on its own plane of existence. A person who has realized his causal body or the body of the cause has intuition or sense awareness, the divine wisdom, or the mind of God, which is the immobile, inner, absolute mind. In fact, a person, man, becomes a body or the guide of the divine mind. Let us follow this idea through color chakra. It is very interesting. We know that the sector of the divine mind is the second yellow sector. The triangle of this light of the divine mind is in the constellation of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. These are three yellow colors of the triangle of the divine mind. The constellation of Taurus is the first light of the Atman, the power of manifestation and movement of the light of the divine wisdom. The second is the gaining of the power of this wisdom and in Virgo. And the third in Capricorn is the collected essence of the light of the divine mind. It is ready to manifest in the form of each consciousness. It already can talk or bring the word of the divine, of the God. This is the metric speech. The formula 3 into the four first movements of the owl hand, the first three sectors, Aries, Taurus, and Gemini, and the fourth sector, the Cancer sector, which is opposite the Capricorn sector. What does it mean? Considering this circle, it is the same thread, a rope connecting Noah's Ark. What is Noah's Ark? It is a symbol or image. It is the best accumulations of humanity for the future cycle of evolution. This is what Noah's Ark is symbolically. And this is the rope or thread connecting Noah's Ark in the waters of space and giving a path or heavenly thread to the passage of the third light sector, the Capricorn sector. As soon as the essence of light is collected, the age of Aquarius begins. The next sector, the formula, the 3 into the 4, works all the time. The essence of 3 in the manifestation of 4 of the 4. Even Balzac, as Elena Petrovna tells that he was the unconscious oculist. The number is to the mind what is to matter, or incomprehensible intermediary. The number, as the great writer thought, is the essence, and at the same time the breath emanating from what he called God, and what we call everything. Breath, which alone could form the physical cosmos, where nothing takes its form except from the deity, which is the consequence of number. You can see the poetry of this metric speech in this genius movement of the number that unconscious occultist Balzac revealed in the world. So the smallest as well as the most extensive creations, should they not differ among themselves in their quantities, qualities, dimensions, powers, and attributes, being all the products of number. The infinity of numbers is a proven fact, proven to our mind, but a physical proof about which cannot be given. Mathematicians will tell us that the infinity of numbers exists, but it cannot be revealed. Yet, if God is a number endowed with movement, which is felt but not manifested as a unit or one, it starts numbers but has nothing to do with them. Look how wonderful this thought is. The number one as he as zero, it starts, but it has nothing to do with has nothing to do with the ray which transforms the space and always gives and provides, generates new form. The existence of a number depends on one, which generates them all. Numbers, which are reasonable entities. And the number 10 is the first full or completed sphere or form, spiritual, or one becomes a form, or the first complete field sphere, then it will be two, and 3, 6, 8, 9, 100, and so on indefinitely. Pythagoras said the cosmos was not created either through a number or by a number, but geometrically, which means following the proportions of numbers. Let's penetrate this thought and try to understand what is the proportion. We see that it is an equation of two or more numbers, the equilibrium. And then we see that another law, the Secret Doctrine, confirms what the mathematicians have known for a long time. The cosmos was created by the movement of number. The radiant nature collapses and spreads into depths of space. This is the primordial matter, or the universal substance in its own way. It has an occult meaning borrowed from the Hindu allegorical churning of the ocean by the gods, or Amrita, or the sea of milk, from which Surabhi was extracted, or the cow of abundance, or this is why the cow or bull are venerated as engendering power. What is this engendering power consists in nature? The generating power is 3, and it is solar energy. And engendering power is 4, it's lunar. This is the beauty of the continuity of this metric pace. It reaches the inner state of everyone, and it shows the wonderful forms and the clear understanding. These symbols are associated with both solar and lunar deities. Therefore, the specific properties of the 14 jewels for occult purposes are explained only at the fourth initiation. This is what Elena Petrovna told, that only the fourth initiation the specific properties will be revealed. What are they? 7. The first 7-ray star on the plane of spirit strives for manifestation or form downwards. The second 7-ray star on the plane of mind and creativity strives upwards to the refinement of the manifested form. This is the connection, the higher entities, they strive to reveal and refine. Shatapatha Brahmana states that the churning of the ocean of milk took place in the Satya Yuga in the 1st century, immediately following the flood. What does it mean? Petrovna explains that because neither in Rig Veda nor Mano, which preceded the flood of Asvata, the flood of the entire mass of the fourth race wasn't mentioned. It is obvious that this doesn't mean the Great Flood, and none of them carried off Atlantis or even the flood of Noah. The churning refers to the period preceding the formation of the earth and is in direct connection with another world legend, various and contradictory versions of which culminated in the Christian dogma of the war in heaven and the falling of the angels. Here we can see this connection. The Brahmins are reproached by Orientalists for their often inconsistent interpretations of the same topics, are mainly occult works. Therefore, they are used as a concealing. They were left for general use and possession only because they were and still are incomprehensible to the big numbers of people. Otherwise, they would have disappeared from circulation since the time of Akbar. So the war in heaven is nothing but the churning of the ocean of life or milk, which forms a cloth of future life. The falling of the angels, when this churning was completed and the first floater root of life was formed, and the sacred three falling into four occurred, the universe began to differentiate, and Brahma manifested as a thought base. Isn't it beautiful? Brahma, or the universe, differentiating, created the material nature, the spiritual, rational nature, the logos deity, the manifested expression of the eternal divine thought. Another revelation. Look at the swastika symbol, or the symbol of the movement of spirit in matter, or spiritual intelligent nature in material nature. The reason of this movement is on the plane of archetypes, and the manifested swastika is on the physical plane. The consequence on the physical plane is the motion of each consciousness of the connecting space of the spirit and matter, or the movement of its spiritual intelligent nature in the body of consciousness, or form, or material nature. Hence, then the three fall into the four. The radiant essence becomes seven inside, seven outside. The luminous egg, which in itself is three, curdles and spreads in milk white curds throughout the depths of mother, the root that grows in the depths of the ocean of life. The key point, stanza 3, sloka 4, 3 plus 4 makes 7. What exactly becomes 7? The answer is all or each fourth sloka of the previous stanza. Let us consider this thought. Stanza 1, sloka 4. The seven ways to bliss were not the great causes of misery, were not, for there was no one to produce and yet ensnared by them. Stanza 2nd, sloka 4. Your heart had not yet opened for one ray to enter, hence to fall as rain to fall into the lap of Maya. The key point, the seven paths to bliss and the great causes of suffering take shape in the radiant nature. The external and internal appear. Seven inside, seven paths to bliss, seven outside, the causes of suffering. This is it. And with this connection with the heart of Padma opens as shining egg, which is threefold in itself. It has the functional ability to curdle and spread in the depths of the mother. It has this ability to curdle and spread because the depth of the mother is the symbol of the open heart, and it becomes sevenfold because the mother has cast it, drop it like the three into the four, into the depths of Maya. Blavatsky points to the special status of the purple ray of the beginning of life. There is a point in the heart that dies last, a point marked with a tiny purple light. This is the receptacle of life, the center of everything, Brahma, the first point that lives in the germ, and the last one to die. This point potentially contains intelligence, life, energy, and willpower. And during your life, it emits prismatic colors, fiery and iridescent, because the heart is the center of spiritual consciousness, just as the brain is the center of intellectual consciousness. Conclusion. The heart, or the shining egg, in itself is threefold, containing the point three, or the center of spiritual consciousness. It becomes diminished and becomes a radiant nature, the status of the purple ray, the beginning of life, the root that grows by prismatic fiery radiation. Then the three fall into four. The four, the radiant essence, becomes seven inside, seven outside, the luminous egg, which in itself is three. And this is how the it curdles and spreads and milk white curds throughout the depths of mother, the root that grows in the depths of the ocean of life. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you
your
very much
attention.
for following the whole path that must have been not so easy to understand. We hope you've gained new understanding, new ideas, and you've been able to perceive, to visualize these new ideas. And perhaps we've helped and gave you the impulse to take this metric speech, that it becomes native speech for any being in existence. I would also like to give you this idea following the step of Helena Petrovna. So she said we are talking about the creation of our Earth, and everything that was said, it was said about the creation of the Earth. And this schema should be used to understand how the Earth came to be. You know, you can use it as an analog for the creation of the solar system, the galaxy, and of course the universe itself. Thank you. And my dear friends, we have questions. Thank you so much for writing to us, for asking questions during the seminar and before the seminar. We will try our best to answer all of your questions, to highlight the main points, maybe give you a new understanding, and once again to point out and try to understand the ideas of the metric speech, so that the sound and creation and the understanding and the knowledge that you gain helps you. So the first question is, and I'll give this question to Vladimir Vasilievich. So do I understand correctly that the structure of space in the Sloka is called the initial material? So if it is this initial material is symbolized by milk? Why milk exactly? Well, milk is used here as a symbol of life, of something that gives life, that creates life, the eternal life, that feeds the universe and all the beings in existence. So it was chosen as the symbol for this space, to encapsulate its essence. So I think this is the main idea. Well, if we talk about the symbol of milk, I don't think there is a symbol called milk. Here is, however, the correlation between the act when during the formation of the curds and this movement, they are made in the milk and in the space of the universe. These curds are the future worlds. So this is the symbolism you are talking about, and not the milk itself. So this is the correlation and the equation of the movement. Another question we have here is the incarnation of human is followed by certain nidana with a ray that vibrates, and you have to follow this vibration. But what does it contain itself? Is it a characteristic or a property of some sort? So the vibration itself, first of all, it is the harmony. It represents the great harmony. And when you enter the state of harmony, when your mind is at ease, in this state you can, get into the vegetative state. And in the state, your mind will be able to perceive reality, to attract this great harmony and reality. And this is how the beauty is born. Well, I thought about the vibration and the ray being harmony. In the question, it sounds like this harmony exists, but it's not really easy to do so, because to feel the vibration, first of all, you need your mind to be awakened, your consciousness. You won't feel the vibration until that happens. And I have an image that the vibration of the ray is the connection between the teacher and the disciple. And as soon as that happens, then you will be able to feel the vibration. Until this connection between the teacher and the student is formed by the celestial friend, you won't be able to feel it. And I can add that, first of all, in this case, you need your mind to be awakened, and your mind can awaken by the call, When it hears the call of love, your heart is open, and then your mind awakens, and then you will be able to reach resonance with the vibration, with the vibration of the ray. Yeah, that's right. And we're trying to attain this understanding. Another interesting question. Thank you for asking this question. So in the first shloka, we're talking about the depth of the bowel of the mother. But in the fourth shloka, we're talking about the curds that spread in the depth. So how does that happen? Well, I think you have your answer in the question. The curds, they exist in the depth. And in this depth, they find their own depths. And in the centers of light, they're used to differentiate the manifestation. And for me, it's a new idea because I haven't thought about that really and haven't discussed it in the sloka. And for me, it's really exciting when people find something that I haven't talked about. It's a new discovery, new idea. Why the depth and the depths? So the answer is really simple, I think, but to receive this answer, you need to look at the comment of HPB. So at first, it was the root of the material, because we think that the depth is the root of material. It was united. It existed in the United States. But something happened in that root. We have discussed four shlokas, four different states, and those different, it includes different processes, to different phases. And the root begins to grow, as we have found out today, and it forms depths. As it grows, the first there was a depth, and the root haven't yet started to grow. But during the four shlokas, it starts to grow, and then the depth that was singular multiplies, and we have different depths. And as you can see, these depths, although of course they exist, but the root grows, and I'd say that it sprouts. So it creates offsets, and it offsets different curves, and these curves create depths. The next question: in the manifested world, the curves are created by heat. So does it mean that in the fourth shloka have heat? Well, there is a certain energy that creates movement, rotation, and the rotation, when it happens, it will create heat. This is certain power that is able to create this heat and the curds. Well, for me, it's interesting. How do you know that protein becomes curdles with heat? It's a scientific fact, but it's usually, in the material world, it has been proven that you need the change in temperature, but not heat necessarily. When does the temperature change? The temperature changes when the speed of the rotation is changed. So you had a linear speed, for example, and then it changed. And this change in speed changes the temperature. And this change affects the structure of molecules, and the molecule changes its form. How? Because it concentrates the configuration. And once this complex configuration happens, this is when the protein curls. So this is my answer. Well, if we talk about the material world and how the protein curls, it needs a germ. And the germ is what? This is the chicken. So we need a certain temperature with, and the rotation is life. And all of the energy needed is received through the cord between the mother and the chicken. So this is all that exists in the female nature, in the womb, and this is where the life is conceived. Well, of course, the curdling happens and it becomes compact. So the curds are formed here. So this is the description of curds is happening, that you can see in the speed of rotation, the temperature change, the changes in molecular structure, the structure becomes compacted, and the concentration happens. So this is a simple question, of course. We have talked about the free. So how do you find the formula of free within yourself? Well, in Christianity, it's known that there is a soul, the soul, the Father and Son, the Spirit, the Father and Son. If we talk about the esoteric with occult knowledge, there is manas and the categories that we have discussed. But, well, there is the body, the mind, and the soul, I would say. And if we talk about the triad nature of the movement, well, it's formed the third Sloka, third stanza. There we talk about the three channels of life. There they begin to form, the necessary power. And this power gives life. And in a person that create your spinal cord. And here are the three ways of life, the Kundalini Shakti elements. So of course you can find anything you want. And if you want to find the form of free within yourself or to feel it, rather, I would say that the form of free manifests when the action isn't followed by resistance. And when does it happen? When all the effects have been lived through, and then you get the cause. When the cause is revealed, you can find the form of free. If we talk about the consequences written by HPP in Secret Doctrine, we have several questions that we will be able to answer later. If you don't hear the answer to your question here, we will have a quiz and we have the next seminar. We will contact you and you can contact us via email, and at the end of the seminar you will see our telephone number and the email. So we are always happy to answer your questions. So the next question, are there those who have been able to go through the fourth initiation? And if so, how do you know? And I think it's the same person who asks about the fourth initiation. Well, the fourth initiation are the people who have gone through the fourth initiation. So if you look at the Mahayana, Kala Chakra, the wheel of life, it said that this, the wheel of Mahayana is for Bodhisattva, which have the power of compassion. So who is Bodhisattva? Bodhisattva is Buddha. And Buddha is he has gone through the fourth initiation. He is the person who has gone through that. And Bodhisattva is the earthly Buddha who has been initiated. So if you understand Mahayana, then you become Buddha or Bodhisattva. So yeah, they exist. Well, I have, an image of those who go for the fourth initiation, and I imagine them as people who were able in battlefield, because the description we have in this shloka, the word battlefield, and each step in the battlefield you have to conquer. Because what is the battlefield? It's not the Antahkarana. We have 7 steps here, 7 degrees. If you conquer each step, if you become the victor of each step, this is, your basis for attaining the way to the fourth initiation. And the 7 steps of Antahkarana, how do you conquer them? You need to bring up your thoughts. So you need to call, you need to follow, you need to trust all of your higher selves. This is how you will be able to attain and to conquer each state of Antahkarana. And, I think that the Nidana of the red rooster in the wheel of Kalachakra, that you can see, before the human is able to go through the steps, he symbolizes the conquering voice. And the last step of Antahkarana, it leads to the fourth initiation. So this is Kundalini Shakti. So when does it all happen? When the mind is awakened. And when the mind is awakened, it is at the time when the person can see and understand Mahayana and use it. And he has the ability to perceive and to use knowledge for his own benefit. And bodhicitta, the state of compassion. When you have the ability to purify the channels, because at first the channels are being purified not with the Kundalini Shakti. The Kundalini Shakti is called upon Bodhicitta. And only then this happens.
Well, we have got another 4 questions. We will try to be short. Kalachakra explains a lot from the Secret Doctrine. As far as we understood, and we are following your seminar very attentively, and we are a group of people actually following the seminar. Thank you very much. So how to learn how to apply all the knowledge, all the information from the Secret Doctrine to Kalachakra? Well, first of all, you see here following the instructions of Yelena Petrovna Blavatsky in Proem, she says that first of all we need to reveal an ability of the feeling or sense of knowledge. First of all, we have to fall in love with the absolute truth, which will open our heart. And by opening our heart in this cave, there is this consciousness. This is the sense of knowledge can be found there. And only from this point we have to move. Then, by studying the secret doctrine, we will be able to build the will of the good law, not the opposite. We should reveal this will of the good law via the secret doctrine. Then we will know it, because we will put it together. How do we put it together, this will? Through our life, through the process of life. So what is Kala Chakra or the secret doctrine? All these are symbols. And how do the symbols reveal? Any symbolism is revealed proportionally to the opening of our consciousness. It can only be proportionally. How do we open this structure? How do we reveal this structure, this atom? When we opened our mind towards the eternal, towards the understanding and cognition of eternal. Only for this our mind opens, and only through this can symbolism be understood and applied to any sphere of our life. Uh, Talking about the material, the secret doctrine, we have another question. Our participants write that there is an affirmation that the astral light ensnares lower feelings. And now you were talking about the three grades of the radiant light that lead to the seventh principle. How can it be possible? Well, I've already mentioned this idea that the astral light in its pure form is at the same time on the plane. I would even call it Prakriti. This Prakriti pours out and penetrates everything. Then the plane is created, the plane on which, in the astral light, the reality passes through backwards to the illusion. Then the world, the astral world, depends on what the humanity feels it in by our qualities, properties. Uh, they say that there is uh, our orbit of the Earth is covered with a kind of a um, core, course, and this our world of passion feel it. This is how we are led. Yet the astral light is septenary. Do you understand? It is not uniform. It has seven centers within. This is why the astral body of a human being, which who has this passionate nature, this astral light in our manifestation of our lower habits and impulses, we burn it. This is how Yelena Ivanovna burned her astral body. She understood it is not possible to live this way in this world, and only the master kept your soul, giving her the garment, and she was burning it again and again, and he was giving her the garment for her soul. He was giving her the light to dress. They say that the astral light uh, in, enslavers but human being, but here uh, he hasn't become this yet. We are in the upper planes here, and the three falling into four. These are 3 degrees. They are seven that are leading to the seventh principle. Hasn't become seducer yet. The next question. I'm sorry, I haven't quite understood how this causal body of the human, what happens to it? How does it burn but doesn't die? Isn't burning equal dying? Well, dear friends, the teaching says that there is no death. We can only reject, get rid of the shape, yet the life will continue. Our life is eternal. The human being is eternal. The mind is eternal. Please note that the body burns. But what happens? The body burns, and by this burning, it becomes clear, clean, and the soul merges with the monad for the next incarnation. This is this point. It is burning, yet it is not dying. It is burning, and by this it gets purified to merge with monad. Thank you very much for your questions. We have another question. Why cannot the number be understood? It cannot be cognized. Well, as Yelena Petrovna writes, it cannot be profanized. The initiated can cognize the number. They're able to do it. As easy as that. If the number is not cognizable, then we can say that this is the movement itself. The movement is a number, and this movement is continuous and it leads to eternity, to infinity. Eternity is infinite. And another point, there is a number, and we know that there is a no number, the opposite to it. Well, the next question, if there is a purple point in the heart, what does this purple light mean, and why does it die? What was it the last to die? Well, as Elena Petrovna tells about this purple light, that first of all, it symbolizes Linga Sharira. You see, Linga Sharira is some kind of phenomena, a phenomenon of the human nature, the human nature, because it is in the heart. It means that the human being as a consciousness is in our heart. And when it does through its function, it follows its evolution, it becomes human being. And the fourth round, fourth circle, it disappears because the man will have to change the ray of spirit. This is the way of evolution. He made this step. He went forward. If Helena Petrovna told about this center of the spiritual consciousness of the purple color, we know that the purple color is identical to space. The space is symbolized by the purple color. What does it mean? When it happens, this spiritual consciousness or the center of the spirit, this unity, why is it the last to die? Because it becomes one. Why? In order to give the space the impetus for spreading. And this symbol of the purple light in the space explains this metamorphosis of the revelation. Why is it the last to die? It is the last to die to be the first in the new life. Yes, it can be explained this way. Let us have another look at this moment. This purple ray was assimilated by the human consciousness. When the assimilation occurred, it becomes number one. It used to be number seven, and it becomes number one after the assimilation. You know, dear friends, today with these ideas of the metric pace and metric speech, with this precision, accuracy, with all these numbers, revelations, insights that formed this third stanza for Sloka, that we can be with these ideas for a long time inside every one of us, because the direction can be pointed for any consciousness. Yet to live in this direction should be every one of us. It is an individual work. It is an individual understanding. The point when the three fall into four also corresponds to that genius idea, as we read in the teaching, the idea that the sun never rises and never goes down, because at the moment when it rises somewhere, it corresponds to the sunset somewhere else. So that's why the sun is always somewhere. The sun shines eternally by the physical properties of the sun, this engendering and generating power, the generating energy. What does it generate? The thought, the action. And thus we can say that when we have this knowledge, this systemic knowledge, for us, the sun never rises and never goes down. It is always in the point of the heart which is the heart of the spiritual consciousness. And one of the ideas that symbolizes our today's progression of thought, your very interesting, very deep questions, some new thoughts, new answers which concentrate the thought. You're just wonderful. And at this point, I would like to finalize our seminar. And I see the other questions. Will we have other seminars of this kind? You know, our online seminars are systemic every Thursday, once in month at 6 o'clock. And we also have international seminars with international speakers, foreign speakers who present their materials, presentations. And this month it will be the 30th of September. So here we approach the importance of systemic, consistent studying, systemic, consistent, continuous action, which can hold the sun in the center, which the sun which never rises and never goes down. We would like to thank our wonderful interpreters who were with us. We thank our technical support group. We thank all those who made the presentations, visualizations, the visual support. Of course, we would like to thank your hearts that you're steady, for your smileys, for your questions, for your participation, for your striving for knowledge, which is, first of all, important and which focuses this impetus of movement, and this purple ray becomes eternal and infinite in space. So if you manage to keep this core of the shining golden egg, then we become real people, and we are able to keep this joy, hope, trust, and faith in any situation, because everything is love. Thank you very much for your patience, for your bravery, for your courage. Thank you for being with us till the end. Thank you very much, dear friends. Vladimir Vasilyevich, thank you very much. Thank you for your thoughts, your directions, your insights. And see you soon. And I would like to point out that in the end of 2023, in November, there will be a significant event, the 7th International Theosophical Congress, which will be held in Moscow, and we invite all of you. We'll be happy to meet you there. We're sure that you know about this event, and of course, we would like to invite everyone to participate, to collaborate. It's not only about volunteering, which is also very important for us in all projects that we implement this multifunctional Congress, but of course, help that can help to form the Congress and create this Congress and give it alive. So we wait for your suggestions, feedback, and light and love to all of you. Goodbye, dear friends. Be blessed. See you soon. Goodbye.
The Secret Doctrine by Blavatsky. Dedicated to all true Theosophists. Book of the Third Millennium.
Blavatsky only new.